Hey everybody, we are back with a new episode. It is 2026. I'm Hype Panda and this is the beautiful
Talene Sophie.
and we are here on our podcast entitled We're Just Human because we are just human. Okay. We rolled into 2026. It is the beginning of the year and a lot of exciting things because it's the new year.
Yes.
Other than, people going out and getting gym passes because why not, I guess. I still kind of, I'm not sure about that. But it is a great business model for a lot of the gyms themselves because they get people enrolled and then they forget about it after the first month or 2 months and they pay for the rest of the year. Like I keep thinking to myself, I should open up a gym just for that.
Yeah, it's no brainer. The dough just rolls in.
And of course I've tried to cancel my membership a couple of times.
Oh yeah,
I'm like, I'll get to it.
30-day notice, then you forget and you got
yeah. But anyway, aside from that, let's talk about 2026. We both have some exciting stuff that we're going in a new voyage, if you will. And we wanted to talk about that. I know in our past episodes, you should check them out on YouTube. We're Just Human. Definitely check them out. This year's going to be a little bit different. We are immersed in the entrepreneurship type thing.
In the deep end. Ready, yes. No floaters.
Yes, yes. Last year we were kind of dipping our toes in. This year we're kind of going full into it. Also, we are, we were talking with a lot of small businesses and also other entrepreneurs about their experiences, their ideas, and also a lot of things in the Las Vegas area. So, you may want to stay tuned to a lot of the newer episodes because we'll have a lot of guests on there talking about what they're doing, what they're excited about, and also how they can help you as a consumer or even other entrepreneurs. Some of you guys that are marketers out there, we're going to be talking a lot about this type of stuff. And every now and then you might hear something funny about relationships because, businesses and relationships are kind of
goes hand in hand.
Yeah, as crazy as it sounds.
Yeah.
But let's start off by talking to you about what your plans are for 2026.
Lots of good stuff. So I'm finally putting on my cape and I'm ready to just delve into it. One of my biggest things I am going to be doing is releasing my book.
Okay.
So it's my time, A Journey to Joy, just opening yourself up. It's been a long time in coming, for sure. I've stayed silent for way too long. So just the journey itself, from my wellness, store to coaching to creating, all kinds of stuff for women. I was like, my story definitely will help a lot of people.
I'm sure it's been an adventure for each of those facets, moving, in the past, moving forward.
Yeah.
That's got to be...
The book entails all that too. So it's not really like a biography about me. It takes little snippets of from childhood all the way on to the onset of now with my kids, like parenting, schooling, opening up my business, relationships, the trauma of it all. And it's really not a story about like degrading anybody or putting everybody on the spotlight. It's just really like my experience, my perspective on what I've lived through and how it's made me into this woman that I am, this mother that I am, this friend that I am, this, can't say partner, but yet.
Guys, keep an eye
and that's one of the biggest things is like becoming so conscious of my own self throughout the years. You used to look at it like, oh, it's me, I'm the problem. But you start realizing, like, as you're writing the chapters in the book, that it's really just a story, like a movie.
I think that's the one thing about, like, we'll talk about our personal biographies now. I will say this to the camera and to the audience. I am in my mid to late 40s. So there's a lot of experience that comes with that. I wanted to be a little,
You're older, a little older.
I'm a little older.
Just a tad bit.
Yeah, I got a couple of grays here and there. But it really is, as a person, as a parent, as a career-driven individual, there's a lot of different things that you kind of go through. Now, granted, everyone's, experiences are very different.
Absolutely.
So, for example, some people may have gone through some of the things that took me 20 years. They've done it in 10.
Correct.
But also at the same token, too, there's some people that have had the same routine for so long, and sometimes it does build comfort. having consistency, right?
And definitely onto that is stepping outside of my comfort zone this year.
Yep.
That is the theme.
I think, it is important also to step out of your comfort zone. So, I mean, as much as it is really nice to have that consistency of like, this is A, B, and C, it's also eye-opening to see, D, E, and F, and I think a lot of people will experience that much later, like our generation. Like, I feel like a lot of people, do what we were expected to. They go to school, they go to college, or they get a job and they just continue to work there. But with the ever-changing climate, as far as business, as far as the economy and everything else now, we see so many people being more jack of all trades.
Absolutely.
That's the best way I can put it. But
I think we're both like that as well too.
No, that's true.
We've kind of dabbled into a lot of things, but I mean, we have a foundation of what we want to do, but we have experience in different areas, and that's why we can connect to other people.
Oh, completely. I think there's something to be said about the industry that you're in, because then it allows you. So you and I are in very, very similar industries where we have to, kind of incorporate other industries. Our skill set is based on anything and everything for businesses and individuals. So, we have the ability to learn much more on a broad range of things, as opposed to just like,
our
only
spectrum
these people.
Is very wide.
Only this. Yes.
It's not narrow. I mean, we can find a niche, but we kind of are more wide and.
And as an entrepreneur, it is definitely awesome to spread it out, but eventually your goal is to narrow it down. So I think that's, for myself, it's definitely one of the things that I'm trying to focus on this year. Being more focused is key, because I will be honest, like, I love doing anything and everything. So, within a week I'll do, 4 or 5 different projects that all have like nothing remotely common as far as, the type of industry they're in. But
I think that's how we are. Just, I mean, I don't want to go into astrology, but being a Sagittarius, we get burnt out of doing the same thing over and over and over.
Changes.
We like the challenge.
The consistency should be change, if that makes sense.
Which most people don't like.
People don't like. But at the same token, too, there is a balance. There's a balance of consistency, and there's a balance of change. If you can do both.
I think my routine comes in as a solo parent. So I've got that down. Not that I don't do things with my boys, but it's pretty consistent. I have a routine with them that I got to keep constant. So outside of that, I like to keep it more diverse and like try new things and do things, whereas probably similar to your situation.
A lot of this stuff is going to be in the book.
Yes. So. I have, it's not really a map to how to live your life. It's a map of how I've journey through the path, the obstacles, the challenges, and then there's some like writing, prompts in there and things like that. But it's traveling through my soul pretty much.
And I think what's great about it too is that you have such diverse experience in a lot of things. So it makes it'll make the story interesting.
It's you're not going to want to stop reading it.
Oh, for sure. And I also too, it's one of those things where, your life experiences, there's going to be a sprinkle in there that the reader can relate to, and I think that's the key, to be like,
I gave enough for people to like relate to it, but not like, just write out the whole experience. So you have to live through it. It's more, I can relate to her.
It's like talking to a friend.
Yes.
It's like us talking right here and learning much more things about each other. No, that's awesome. Yeah. So when do you think you're going to release it?
So my release date is actually going to be April 9th of this year. And that is going to be my gift to my oldest son, because he turned 16 on April 9th. So I had a different date in mind, but like 2 things, his birthday, and then also for me in my culture, it's spring. So it's spring forward.
Okay.
We don't really celebrate New Year's in December. We celebrate it in spring.
In the springtime.
Equinox.
Okay. Oh, it's equinox. Okay.
So like
You're
right after that.
Right now.
Yeah.
I was like, it's the equinox. That's right.
Yeah. So it's really just springing forward. So I'm really just kind of tying on loose ends, finishing things up, editorial phase, and then just, launching that.
Oh, that's awesome.
I want to add definitely a lot more travel too this year.
That's good. I'm traveling. So my one thing about traveling is when you travel, just because you travel doesn't mean you're cultured.
No,
Okay. If you
not at all.
travel and you want to be cultured or are open-minded, you have to be there encompassing yourself in the land, in the people, and everything else. So like I have quite a few friends that like, oh, I'm so well traveled, but they don't seem very cultured.
At all.
And it's because when they go to a different country or a different place, doesn't matter where it is, they ask for the same consistency. I just need steak and potatoes. It's like, well, here
No,
they specialize
try
in
there.
like the poultry or whatever it is,
Right.
or sausages, whatever it is.
Right.
But because of that, and a lot of them are there for vacation for the most part, and their idea of vacation is being at a hotel the entire time.
No, I actually want to do like the Airbnbs
Yeah.
and like go out to different restaurants.
Discover and explore.
I want to take my boys to see different things. You know, it's just time didn't permit, and now it does.
Of course, that's always the case.
So,
it's just time.
Hence my book. It's my time. It's my time now. It's my time finally to shine.
That's good. And I'm sure while you're writing the book, you know, in the, you know, up until April, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of other things that you might be able to add in towards the end of the book as far as, you know, new things, you know, and kind of end it on a beginning, if that makes any sense.
It is, because it's really closing out a 14-year cycle. I mean, beyond that, but like a 14-year cycle of things that I've lived through. And it has been emotional to some degree, because as I'm like refining it, I'm having to add different things in there, and I'm realizing, oh man, that's a sore spot still. So it brings things up that I haven't thought about in a while. But I think spring forward, I'm finally like, it's my time, meaning I'm closing out everything that was in my past and just fully new book, not even a new chapter. I'm starting.
Yeah.
Like,
but you are taking everything that you've learned along the way
and applying it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think that's the key. We should not look at failure and disappointments as the negativity of failure and disappointments. If we are able to, and I know it's very hard as humans, when we take failure, we take it with a heavy heart. You know, we take it we're very solemn. I think if we're able to take that energy and say, okay, what in this experience did I learn? You know, as opposed to, oh, this sucked. Or like,
so that's how my book is. So it'll talk about something, and then it'll tell the reader like what my takeaway was from this and how I grew from it, and then the writing prompts. Not every chapter has the writing prompts, but some that make sense for somebody to journal because they might have related to it. I added that in there, but it's really just like you see both, not just what I went through. Okay, and then what? People want to know what, and then what? Yeah, no, I think that part is. I think revealing the why is a very important step in you know, maturity. You know, whether you're 55 and still maturing, I mean, we're all maturing you know, continuously, but at the same token too, it's definitely the takeaway. Sometimes we don't realize the takeaway, and it could be years later that and taking accountability. You know, accountability is a big thing. Like, there's certain things where I was like, in my past I would blame other people or situations or circumstances, and now I've just learned to laugh with it and be like, so what, now what? I think the idea of being shameless is a very big key. I kind of make the joke about it. I think, you know, I'm hilariously shameless about a lot of stuff. It's humbling yourself. It is very humbling. Like, you know, okay, now what? There's a balance of being confident and being humble. There is a very good balance. It's a very difficult thing to balance. It's a difficult thing to juggle, but it can be possible. On top of parenting. So like this blends into everything that you see in the book. Obviously there is a chapter talking about the parenting, but I teach my 4 and 5-year-old, even my 16-year-old, like, hey, raise up your frequency, talk to me, share with me. We have like a wall in the house that talks about like emotions and how you're feeling and why you're feeling that. And so explaining it, working through it, not just like, I'm going to wake up on the wrong side of the bed and I'm going to make everyone's life hell, you know? So the consistency of the moment you wake up, you know, as opposed to trying to make it better along the way. So conscious self leads into conscious parenting, conscious being at work, conscious with people. Like, for instance, earlier today about the guy knocking on my window, like, wait a minute. And like, I'm not in the wrong place, like, you know, but examples show up. It's like the universe testing you, like, how are you going to respond, or how are you going to react? No, that's true. Did you learn, or did you not? Or are you just going to take this anger and resentment or whatever it is, these negative feelings, and
basically impose it on everyone for the entire day and yourself, you know?
Yeah, I'm not perfect by any means, but
we're just human.
Exactly. Goes back to that. So that's the beginning of my year is kind of, that's what I want to do. And got to look into maybe buying a house, just making bigger moves.
Okay.
Big woman.
Yeah, big girl stuff. She's got her big girl pants on now this year. 2026 is when Celine puts her big girl pants on.
Time.
No, exactly. No, that's great. I think starting off, especially with this whole voyage, you know, with doing the book and everything is a huge stepping stone.
It's a big deal.
You know, and it really is something to help, you know, when pursuing a lot of other things this year. You know, career related, relationship related. I cannot wait one of these episodes to just sit and have a conversation with this woman about
such a cool book when it comes to relationships. But it's because, to be honest with you and to be fair, I haven't dated since my last relationship, and it's because I've taken really a lot of time, like, getting to know Talene, because I kept choosing partners that I thought I wanted, and it's not what I wanted, and they were who they were. And again, I have nothing bad to say, they're their own people, but my standards are so
different now,
refined, that it's going to take a unicorn, a special unicorn.
And to be fair, everyone is looking for a unicorn, and every unicorn is different. I think you know, in relationships and in business too, it's like we get into things, whether, you know, you get a new job, you try it out, right?
Yeah.
At the moment, it feels like a good fit. This is the same thing with relationships. At the moment, it feels a good fit. Then you learn more as the relationship or the work environment, you know, kind of, you settle in.
The masks come off.
Yeah, the masks come off. And I think, you know, and this will be for another episode, but the idea of, you know, dating after divorce or after a relationship or after having kids. It's a hot topic. It's very much a different mentality. We don't take too much time anymore because we've either learned to heal ourselves or are currently healing ourselves. So we know exactly what we want.
So you just gave me my book number 2 when I get into that relationship.
I mean, I think it's
a great transition.
It's a great piece, and everyone and their mother on the internet is talking about this constantly, and everyone has their own takes on it. There's a lot of things I agree with and a lot of things I disagree with. But also, too, there's too many variables to say that this is the way to do it, because and I think that's the one thing, even
there's no right way.
In a lot of podcasts, they talk about it, but they don't refine it most of the time. Not saying all the time, but most of the time they don't refine it to say you have to have these variables in order for this to happen.
Correct.
So now you have the audience thinking, oh my God, that's exactly what's happening to me, and it's not. You know, I think there's misdirection.
They want to make it fit so that they feel better.
So stop taking puzzle pieces that don't fit and jamming them in there, because it's not going to help you with anything. So
no, just yesterday, for instance, I was having a conversation with somebody, and they were talking about, like, I was seeing myself as they're sharing their story, how it felt when I was in my past relationships, where they were like, we're married, we're about to have a child, but, you know, the chemistry is dying out, there's no connection, we're like roommates, whatever, right? So you kind of look at it and you're like, wow. So people are not building foundations prior to getting into a solid commitment. It's just on a whim, like spaghetti sticking to a wall.
Yes, I think
so I think that's where you find the cracks, and people just kind of start looking outward for connection, for whatever intimacy and whatever level they need. Whereas, like, okay, well, what was the point of just tying yourself to that person? And I've lived through it twice.
Yeah. So, I think so. The one thing I will say about that very quickly is the idea that when young love ensues, there is a, you know, with the relationship is growth, right? So let's just say you're in your 20s and you meet someone, they're also in their 20s. You guys are going through a lot of stuff together. The beauty of it is you're going through it together. And you're growing together. Now, to be fair, people can grow apart, but that is the whole point of, you know, sometimes getting married a lot younger, so you have more years together to do the growth together. Because honestly, I'm a little envious of people that have gotten married younger and have built their maturity together as a team. Now, it doesn't work for everybody, and it is what it is. Not very often. So for those unicorn couples, I commend you, because it's one of those things where I look at that dynamic and you are a team through and through.
Because it's an effort. They both keep continuing to effort, because it's like, it's easy. Like you said, you could just look outward and go get attention and go get X, Y, Z. But it's, again, it's like immediate gratification that dies out. It goes back to the same thing you had with the person that you were with. So
For sure.
what's the difference?
Well, and then, after the fact now too, there's a lot of longing for the things that I missed out on. And at the same time, is the question I usually always like to ask is, did you really miss out on something? Now, for example, not even for example, but the idea is that you're missing out on something that you literally just learned about, and it's exciting. Don't get me wrong. Like, when something new comes out of the kitchen and I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
I hesitate, but if I try it and I love it, I'm like, where has this been all my life? That type of thing.
Right.
But again, you need more experience with that one thing to really, really know if you really love it.
Humans want constant connection.
Yes.
And so where I have unplugged is plugging back both of those together, to myself. Yeah. And so I'm literally charging myself up every single day and not looking for outside validation. It's nice to be like, hey, you're beautiful, you're this, you're that, you're good looking, you smell good,
everyone loves
XYZ. But I don't look at it like that's going to make my day anymore. Whereas in the past I was.
That's what it was, yeah.
And so I would fall short every time I wasn't getting those in a day. So now it's like, I feel so good with myself. I genuinely, from the inside out, feel so good with myself. Like, I know I've taken the time to do the work, to get to know me, to know what I like, what I don't like. So I do get tests. So I get like, hey, I'm going to take you out on a date. It's like, no.
Well, it's definitely one of those things too with compliments, let's just say, or interactions. You can tell when a person has overstimulated that because they don't care anymore. They're just like, yeah, thanks. And it's not saying that they're being arrogant by any means, but they're just so used to it. And you know the back end story. There's an intent. And we don't know if it's good or bad intent, but regardless, there's an intent and you're tired of it. There's a lot of people out there though that have not experienced that. And once they get a taste of it, it's addicting. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like the first time somebody comes up to you and let's just say, you're younger, or forget it, fuck it. You're old
at this time.
You're old, and it's been a long time since someone said, you look beautiful today, right?
Or they don't even get that attention while they're in a relationship.
Exactly. So
it's
the change can be almost riveting to a point where your whole mindset.
It's an infatuation.
It is.
On both ends.
It is. And at that point you can kind of see the level of insecurity an individual has. To say that, ones that kind of like push off the compliments, to say that they don't have any insecurity, they do, but it's not as intense as the ones that accept it so open-heartedly as if it is what they need to survive.
Yeah.
It's like you need to be happy with yourself first. And once you're,
it's hilarious. I can read through people so easily now. Like yesterday I went up for work. I'm introducing myself to a client. They're like, oh, you look so familiar. It's like, are you trying to sell me something?
Yes.
Or are you, what's the intention here?
Yeah.
And he saw that like, I didn't really engage with it. And he was just like, oh, she's not biting on the bait.
Yes.
No, don't.
Yeah, there is. I mean, everyone has intent. Let's, just be completely transparent.
We all do.
But it also depends on what the intent is. Intent doesn't need to be a bad thing.
And where you stand in life. Like, are you ready to date? Do you want to be with someone? And so my intention this year is really focusing, like, it's my time for me.
Yeah.
My kids. Travel, and if it does happen, it does happen. I'll be sure to tell you first so we can do an episode on it.
Yeah.
But
That'll be a real long episode,
sure. There'll be like a 4-hour episode.
Yeah.
But I think, jumping into that with where you're going in 2026, I want to know what your intentions are.
My 2026 is going to be a lot more boring and brief. So
it's never boring.
This year, so the past couple of years I've been going to a lot of networking events, and the one thing that you collect at networking events is business cards, right? As a graphic designer myself, I love business cards. I look at everyone's kind of paper. It's almost like American Psycho when they go into the boardroom and the guys are all
so you got intentions.
Who's got a better business card? So what I decided to do is I started asking people around, because I know with technology there's a lot of things that can be done to organize and scan business cards and things like that. So I kind of jumped on that train. Met a lot of people at these events, asked them what they use. Nobody really had a really good solution for me. A lot of them were like, it does this, but it doesn't do that, and yada yada.
Perfect. You
so I got very advantageous,
refined everything
late last year, and I decided to find a solution to the problem. And I created this new application called Card Scans, with a Z, because I'm fancy like that. But ideally, it's a very simplistic application. So you log in, you have your own account under Card Scans. It's desktop available, and it's on your phone. And basically at the end of every networking event, or even if you meet someone elsewhere, you can scan their business card. And because AI is amazing, but it has its limitations, it's a whole different episode. But it's able to take information and put it into a organized way in your own. So like all my business contacts now are in my card scans account. So I don't have to mix them in with my personal account.
That's genius.
Well,
because you'll go down, you have like
7
5
mics.
Jennifers,
yeah,
and you're like,
which one is
which
it?
one was that?
And sometimes you forget, to put the tags and stuff in there. But
so does it actually scan the card so you can see the card instead of just the information?
It does 2 things. It will download all the information to make it like a a V card, so you can actually share it. So if I
should tell my coworker, because he's got a whole desk of cards.
Yes, it scans them all. It does 2 things. In the profile, it'll show a picture that you took of the card. So there's a logo and stuff like that on there too.
Yep.
But it also takes all the information, name, email, phone number, website. Perfect. It does everything, thanks to AI built into the system. But moreover, like the other little things that are added to it, you can make your own digital card, because everyone does digital cards now.
Yes,
like you can send
paper.
Yeah. But paper will always be there. I'm a huge big advocate of paper business card, but
I'm still old school. I still like to keep people's business cards when they give it. But it's funny enough, because when I'm out like doing work, people give me stuff on Post-its. I'm like,
so here's
hopefully I don't lose your Post-it, but thank you.
So I'm gonna get you in on this. So we did a testing last year before we really launched the app, but we took a Post-it note. And we had someone write their name. So if you're in a busy situation and like, I don't have a card on me, so they wrote their name. And now, mind you, the penmanship of the individual was okay. It wasn't the best, but it was clear enough. But I wasn't sure how clear it was for our AI to pick it up. Talene, when I tell you, we scanned that Post-it note, and it took everything as if it was a business card and put everything into the right place.
Perfect. I'm gonna have to use your
awesome.
services.
So right now we launched card scans. I've been doing a bunch of fun AI videos. So if you check me out, I do post them on my at HYPAND 2017. We'll throw a link in the description area, so you can check that out. And also your new website.
Yes. I forgot about all that.
It's but yeah, no, it's a tool, and it's actually absolutely free. So our goal is to get as many people using it. So whether it be sales teams, individuals, entrepreneurs, whoever else, this is supposed to be a business essential. And with that being said, right now, us being a startup company, we are going ahead and actually just giving the technology away for free.
You heard that.
It does it does a lot of
complimentary.
Things. It's completely free. And we're constantly updating things when we need to, but we're also not adding too many things
Keep it
to
simple.
it, so that you're like, oh my God, it does all the stuff.
That's what I've noticed. A lot of people add so much that the person's like, this is too hard to learn.
It gets aggravating. I think that's initially what we did, was we added so many bells and whistles to a point where I said, what are the main functions that are necessary?
Name, phone number, email. Yep.
Like, what does it need to do? So you can build a digital card to send it out digitally as well. But you can also, it does generate your own QR code. So a lot of people have QR codes on their cards. So for example, if I forget my business cards, and I like to design my business cards, I can go ahead and open up my card scans app on my phone and click on my profile, my digital card, and click on the QR, and it'll be a QR code on there, so you can just scan it as well. So we want it to be as versatile to a point where you don't need, if you forget your business cards, you're good without them. But also too, like the idea is that when we were doing the beta testing, I met a bunch of salespeople at an event.
Right.
And the one question they asked me, now I don't usually use CRM systems, but they're very popular. Salesforce, HubSpot,
QuickBooks.
Use them. Yeah, QuickBooks.
There's so many different ones.
So the one thing I had to add into it is the exporting of the CRM. So for example, when I was at this event, one of the sales guys came up and said, I have these 15 cards I got to scan. I'll use the app. I said, and when you do, I said, you can export it out. And he said, wait, what? I said, when you go onto your account online, you can export out the file, so you can bring it into your HubSpot, your Salesforce, your QuickBooks. And he's like, are you kidding me? It'll save you time. So
that is amazing.
Organization, saving time, but also just the ease of it being on your phone. I mean, we just tried to encompass all the most important things, so that it is literally bulletproof as far as why you should use it. It is going to be an essential, because that's what you do need. So that is one thing that I'm working towards, really pushing this year for 2026. And also just, I'm eating healthier.
That's another thing. Healthy. just being more conscious of what I'm putting into my body. Yes, I have moments.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, I was just actually talking to a friend earlier this morning about that. Like, if I have leftovers, take them to work.
Yeah.
Heat that up, eat instead of snacking all day. So I've internally feel a difference.
Oh, for sure. I think,
so,
you know, and it, of course, like I made the joke earlier about the whole gym pass thing, but it is one of those things, you know, it's a reset. So you try to make these goals, like, you know, we call them resolutions. And, you know, you try to follow through with them, you know, and if you were doing something prior to the year before and you just want to do it better, I mean, that's excellent too, you know, and much easier.
Or you could take some peptides that everyone's doing nowadays.
I mean, you know,
it's like flooded the internet.
It's, you know what, and I will say.
Or what is it? Ozempic and all this stuff?
So as far as that goes, I was making the joke with a friend of mine that, you know, that lives out of state. And she used to model, and I made a joke. I said, "Now everyone can be a model."
Yeah,
she's like, "Well, yeah."
can.
She's like, "You can get your lips done, you can get your face done, you can get your boobs done, you can get your butt done. If you want to do anything else on your body, you can get that done. If you want to lose weight, we have peptides." It is to a point now where natural beauty is going to be the unicorn of everything.
Bingo.
Seeing the wrinkles,
Bingo.
seeing the idea of a personality in
Less
the physicality, 1,000%. So it's one of those things where I make jokes about it. When a woman goes under the knife, or a man, because guys do it too.
Yeah.
Whether it be for the physical aspect or something, you know, aesthetically on their face, you truly are just trying to fit an AI mold in a sense, you know, because of what your
beauty filters, AI.
Oh, it is the more expensive filter is what it is.
Yeah.
You know, we can use it on Snapchat and everything else, but now you can physically go and do it if you've got the money.
But they're making makeup that way too, where everything is like airbrushed and flawless, and it's like they're leaving like no room for error, which is unrealistic.
It is very unrealistic. I think the one thing that we as humans need to understand is that we go in with I feel we should go in with very unrealistic goals and things like that, because at the very least, us trying to reach those unrealistic goals, we've actually moved further than we would imagine.
Yeah.
If you don't have any goals at all.
But again, instant gratification.
Of course,
they want a quick 2 weeks recovery, whatever it is, 6 weeks, you'll have the body. But there's no discipline in it.
No, there isn't.
So it's a quick get it done.
It's a quick fix.
So
you know,
the mental doesn't match
the physical.
The aesthetics.
Yeah, the
aesthetics.
It doesn't.
So
it's very, very hard. I think, you know, one of those things where, you know, I love saying natural beauty now because of the fact that it is becoming more and more of a real thing, like finding a person.
Everything. Lashes, hair,
you name it,
nails, makeup.
Lashes are hilarious because guys, we don't give a shit about lashes. I mean, they look like giant caterpillars.
I had my youngest the other day looking at the car next door, and he goes, "Mommy, she's got butterflies on her eyes." Because her lashes
like, and I get it,
so
like
long.
So like for you women out there, like lashes, guys. I mean, for
I have
the most
all
part,
natural. I don't know.
Yeah,
I do natural.
So are mine
lashes.
actually. But it's not if it's for you, that's great. But aesthetically it doesn't really do much for us, you know, like
natural ones. I mean, this is stuff they used to do way back in the days
but
too.
I mean,
but like
for sure, I get that, but no guy's ever said, "Oh my god, her lashes are too short." You know, like,
or they're not thick enough. Or they're not dark enough.
Yeah.
They're not. Yeah.
They don't look like caterpillars. Like, you know.
You know what it is? It's a comparison from a woman to another woman. It's really not what the guy is saying.
That's fine. Yeah, and that's fine.
I mean, there are some guys, don't get me wrong, that'll be like, "Babe, you got to do X, Y, Z or whatever." But it's very far and few. They're more insecure that their partner is going to look at another girl and be like, "Oh, she's way better." But it's not realistic what you're looking at. It's just like it's not realistic for a woman to look at some guy that's so perfect and chiseled where you're like, I don't even know what to do with that.
Yeah, it's like buying a car with an excellent exterior but no engine. It's
just don't talk.
Yeah, it's like just be there. And how long can that really last? The aesthetics can only last for so long because your emotional, your mental need to be fed just as much as your eyes, you know. And I think that's the one thing.
There's no intellect.
No, I mean, you know, I feel like people for such a long time, you know, were just, I mean, granted, we'll call it media, we'll call it, you know, Hollywood. It's all been about aesthetics, but at the same token too, like some of the most amazing actors and actresses aren't your typical hot individuals.
Have you seen when they're off set, they are no makeup, grungy, in sweatpants. They don't even care. So I'm saying like that done up is not, it doesn't transfer into their daily lives. Most of them are like
normal people. Exactly. I think just in general with, us as a society, or even media pushing an agenda as far as, putting things or people on a pedestal, it really messes with our mentality on things. We can, I joke around about propaganda. Propaganda is everywhere. Like, if your intent is business, you will engage your user base with either fear or fun facts that aren't even true, just to get them to buy your product. And hey, we live in America, capitalism, I get it. But at the same token too, you've got a lot of that misinformation going around. We're not getting into politics, by the way.
No.
But it's one of those things where the idea of misinformation is so easily put together. I built my first website in 1999 because I was studying, to build websites, and I built a website with a picture of some random doctor picture I found on Ask Jeeves or whatever, the search engine, Yahoo, basically, back in the day. And there was like maybe 5 because our database wasn't that big yet.
Oh my gosh.
So I built a GeoCities website that basically, I put a bunch of false information on there about how you can build more muscle by, ingesting your own stuff.
Hence, peptides are not made for human use. It says it on the label. I know. Which is fine, but again, people believe whatever they read.
Yeah, exactly. So, I put this website up in 1999, and, I joked with a few friends and I said, hey, check this out. This is going to get you jacked way faster. They went to the site, believed the picture, believed the article. Now, this is 1999, mind you. Fast forward, we're in 2026. Like the past 2 decades, people will put random bullshit up there. And don't get me wrong, there might be a little bit of logic, and it's enough to engage you. Yeah, you're like, wait a minute, that does kind of make sense. Yeah. And then it becomes this like diluted fantasy of what your logic is. And don't get me wrong, I think comprehension skills are lacking, and I think
because we don't use our brains anymore.
But I think when people,
we don't have to research, we don't have to look at encyclopedia,
we
dictionary,
just let somebody tell us.
Whatever is, it's just recycled information.
Yes, and then sometimes people will change it. It's like telling tall tales.
We believe what TikTok says.
Yes,
for God's sakes. I'm not like discrediting. There are some people on there that actually have a lot of value and stuff, but for the most part, it's like tarot readers and this, and you've got millions coming. You're like, when?
Yeah.
Damn it, when?
Hey, you know what? It's because as humans, we love hope. Hope is the one thing that makes us human, and there's nothing wrong with it. I think it's a valuable thing to have hope, because it helps us push, helps us push. But at the same time too, it is that idea that sometimes that idea of hope or false sense of hope can ruin us, because we're so,
it's kind of like the carrot dangling. You're just kind of like constantly like,
oh yeah. And again, I think this year 2026, we were talking about us doing our conversation or podcast, and it is going to be engulfing a lot of different things, from business to relationships. And you'll hear us go back and forth. And I know you guys might get confused when we're talking, but just if you're smart, you'll be able to follow along.
Read between the lines.
Read between the lines. But also, too, we'll jump from talking about a relationship to then correlating it with business.
It's all mixed in. We'll be at different venues. We'll do different topics,
that's the other thing too. We're looking at doing a live with a live audience we're basically trying to set up a networking event with our podcast included. So the first half will be the podcast, and then we'll open it up to have it basically being in a networking mixer, because it's very different, and we're out here in Las Vegas, so we got to do it up and make it
change
glamorous.
The game.
Make it glamorous with the whole $5 that I have in my pocket. No,
zero.
Yeah, I wish. One of these days, hey, you know what? The goal is to do well, be well, and get money.
Be a good human, period. And that the rest will follow. Trust me, it's all frequency, vibration, alignment. You put your mind to it, you set your heart tone to it, and it's like fine tuning like a radio. You lose the static and it clicks.
I think just following the idea, and also having a lot of patience.
Yes.
I think that's the one thing we lack now with the idea of social media and instant gratification.
Perfection. It does not exist. You just refine it and refine it. Just
perfectly imperfect.
Yeah. That's why for me it took so long for me to even release this book, because I was constantly so concerned about what everyone else would think, and how am I going to write everything, and how I'm going to add everything into it, and then I just stopped one day and I just took the laptop and I just started typing, and it was like, go.
Sometimes that, that is the way to go about, releasing your thoughts. I mean, you can always go back and refine.
That's
you know
what
I mean?
Yep.
But like really letting out. That's why, some of the greatest minds, they have like a notebook near their desk, or like near their bed. They'll just jot things down, which is great. We have our phones on us. You can make voice recordings. I know quite a few CEOs that do that. They'll do voice recordings like in the middle of the night. They'll be like, I thought of something.
Yeah, because you forget. You go back to sleep and you forget your thought. But another part of the book that just came to me as well that I want to share is really it's a gift to my future daughter-in-laws.
Oh, okay. Because you do have only sons.
I do. I'm a boy mama. 3 boys. But it's a gift to them to know that I have done my best and continue to do my best every single day as the woman in their life, not only birthing them, but like consciously parenting them, that they know that I am refining them to be so conscious of how they treat women.
Yeah. I think it's great because it is a guideline.
Yes.
You're building your own parental guideline, and you can hand it down to the next generation.
That's part of what's written in the book as well too. So
yeah. I just let my kids do whatever they want. I'm just kidding.
Go at it. I do. Sometimes I do, but it for the most part, at this like fine-tuning time, especially with the younger ones, like almost hitting that 7-year mark, it's like I want to ingrain as much as I can for them to feel safe to express themselves, explore themselves, just be humans.
For sure. I think that's the one thing, the exploration portion of, growing up and being human. That's probably one of the most detrimental things, because the more you're allowed to explore, don't get me wrong, there has to be some sort of guidelines. As parents, we have to give guidelines. And of course it's very subjective, and everyone does it differently. But the idea still is to allow the young mind to grow. And the only way you can let it grow is you set it free just a little bit.
Yeah. And they teach me too. So that's the thing. It's the biggest thing is like, I let them help me out doing things, or I help them like where they feel like they have some sense of independence, where they're not constantly coddled, but it just gives them that freedom. Like on weekends, we go out, we go do things, explore, go touch, play, dig, whatever you got to do. You're boys. You're not going to sit there and play with dolls. And if you do, that's all right too. But funny enough, that I took my youngest one to class the other day, and one of the guys, the boy, he was hilarious. He took his shoes off, his socks off, and he had little Cinderella slippers on. That was at the school, and I was like,
it was ready for him. Like they left him at the school, so like that was his routine.
It's one of the play toys at school.
Oh, okay. And he was like, "Oh, these are mine."
I turn around and I just see him in purple, and Jay's like, "That is so funny." I'm like, "No, it's cool." And he was like rocking it, walking in that thing, like
he wasn't sashaying.
Yeah, he's like, "Hey, let's play."
That's awesome.
I was like,
"That's."
So it's. I mean, it's not like to tell them that's wrong. Don't do that. That's bad. Like,
and I also think on the flip side too, it's not to. It's
they're exploring.
It's to encourage exploration, but not to encourage one or the other. So not to encourage negativity, like you shouldn't do that, but not to encourage like, oh, so do you want to wear a dress too? Like being suggestive. So it's almost like let them be, let kids be.
Like the boys see me, do my nails, and so they'll get markers and start coloring, and I'm like, well,
they're gonna be emo. They're gonna be
that's toxins going into your right, but whatever. I think it'll come off during bath time.
Yeah, of course. It should, at least, if you got the right stuff.
Yeah.
It's going to be Sharpies, and you're going to
Sharpies. Oh my gosh.
But no, I think there's a lot to be said about, the idea of parenting, the way you parent. For me personally, the ultimate goal is for, after engaging my children and teaching them for their young, up until hopefully their young adult life, or maybe even when they become adults. But my goal is to have them take care of me in a parental way when I get old. Like there's nothing more exciting when I can reach out to my son or daughter when I'm in my 70s or 80s going, hey, the internet's not working, can you fix it? I feel like as a child now, I have been experiencing this the past decade now as a son, and you really look at things in a different perspective. You're like, oh my God, my parents need me now.
They're like, haha, roles are reversed.
And to them, it is a sense of pride because they can trust and rely on you.
Yes.
I think as a parent-child relationship, that is the ultimate goal, is to become the teacher, just like a sensei, become the teacher. And for me, that's my goal, is to have my children to be able to trust them so much that when I become of senior citizen age, God knows what that's going to be like. I can rely on them and trust them to take care of me and to annoy them, to annoy them, because it does annoy me when my parents ask me for stuff, but I also take pride in it because they trust me, to do these things. So, as far as parenting goes, that's kind of my own personal journey. But yeah, I mean, I'm a parent that grew up, as a child that grew up in the 90s. There's a lot of things that now I'm like, I've become a crotchety old man to some extent for certain things, but
lots of fun and exciting things coming for
2026. So definitely check out it in the description. We'll have all the links that you need to check out the new website, which will have the release date of April 9th for your book. I'm excited to indulge in it.
Yes.
And then it's gonna be. Are you gonna do an audio version where you talk? You should.
Probably. Yeah. Because I think I've thought about having somebody else record it, but I think having myself read it, you're going to feel every word
for sure
in that book.
Yeah, and it becomes extremely personal.
Yeah.
And then my link for card scans will be on there. You can download it for free. Just click on the website. It'll take you can watch a bunch of fun commercials that I made on there. I included my kids in a couple of the commercials. So if you're bored, you can check it out.
Videos.
And yes, some of them are in AI. Actually, yeah, a good amount of them are done in AI, so I had fun with that. But then you can click on the Start Now, and you can download it and actually set it up on your phone as well. So check out for all that fun stuff in 2026, and we will see you soon. And hopefully this next episode, we'll have a guest on. We've got a lot of fun friends that we want to invite and chat with them about their business ventures, about their family life, about their relationships, and all that fun stuff. So stay tuned, and definitely subscribe and like this video. We're just human.
Share it. Share.
Oh yeah, and share it, of course. Share with everybody. All right, until next time. See you guys later.
Bye.